up, YouTube? It's your girl Quee B, and I'm back for another video. This video is going to be about the differences that I experience working day shift versus night shift as a nurse, and also which one do I prefer. So I've been a telemetry nurse for approximately 2 years now. I received my nursing license back in 2017. So I done worked both shifts at this point in my life and at this point in my career. And let's get into it. So the pros that I experienced personally working day shift is that I stay on a regular schedule within my personal life and at work. So I worked 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. I got off and was still able to have a small evening to myself, and then I went to sleep. We worked 3 12-hour shifts, and we were able to pick up more if we wanted to. And then on the weekends, I didn't have to flip. I was already adjusted to working and doing everything in the daytime, doctor's appointments, whatever else. And also, what I liked about day shift is that we stay very busy. So the time went by relatively fast. And then another thing I liked about working day shift is that I learned a lot because we had the physicians there, we had dietary, we had occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, we had management, we had a lot of residents, we had caseworkers, social workers. So I learned a whole lot more working day shift because you have all those resources to pull from and ask questions when it pertains to your patient's care. And I also had liked my patient interaction and their physician interaction because with working day shift, everybody is there, so you know who the physicians are, you learn them, you learn when to call them, how to message them, you learn like when they're busy, you kind of learn their schedule, when they're going to come to the hospital and visit the patient. So you're better off answering questions when your patient asks you because you just learn everybody's routine that goes on during the daytime. And also you learn about the whole discharge process. So you learn a whole lot working day shift. In my personal opinion, when I work day shift, I learned a ton. I learned about sending people to surgery, about sending people to procedures, the requirements needed, things that wasn't needed, paperwork filled out correctly. I just learned so much. And then also a pro about working day shift is that with learning so much, you're building more of your base as a nurse to give to other people and just be more knowledgeable about those particular things. So that's what I mainly liked about day shift. I learned a lot. I had patient interaction, I had family interaction. I was able to work with the interdisciplinary team within the healthcare and just grow as a nurse very, very fast, very rapidly, because you do not have time to slack. And I feel like you learn your patients more too working day shift because they're up, they're asking questions, and you get to know them a little bit more better and be able to assess them because they're up and more walking around and awake. So those are pros that I experienced working day shift. Some cons I experienced working day shift is that I barely took a break. When I say I barely took a break, I used to go a whole 12 hours sometimes without eating, without using the bathroom, without taking a sip of water. And just at the end of the day, I felt so burnt out because I just felt like my patients came first. So I used to do everything for my patients and then take care of myself. And that's how I work as a nurse. My patients always will come first. I always will do for them and then take care of myself. So some days I was just like, I haven't got a break. I can barely get my charting done because it's so busy. My patient needs this. My patient needs to go to the bathroom. My patient needs wound care. This patient needs to go down for a test. Transportation needs help pulling them over. Case management social worker have a question about patient X. This patient just pulled out their Foley. This patient just pulled out their IV. So it was just always so busy and things going on that some days I went the whole day without taking a break, without using the bathroom, without getting my water. And that was horrible on my health. Horrible. Like, usually won't hear people say that night shift is healthier for them, but I felt as a nurse like I think night shift would actually be healthier for me, because with day shift, I never took a break. I never went to the bathroom. I didn't get to take a sip of water. And then sometimes, depending on my day, when I went home, if I had to be at work the next day, I still didn't eat anything. I might get something to drink, but I'm just so burnt out and tired. I used to take my shower and go straight to sleep. So I went days sometimes without eating. So that's one thing that I did not like about day shift, is sometimes it's overly busy to the point where I have to sacrifice everything, and that included to me sacrificing my health with working day shift. Also, it's just a lot busier working day shift. You have so many people coming up to you asking questions all the time, where it feels like sometimes you can't get anything done. So it's people from doctors, from physical therapy, occupational therapy, dietary, housekeeping, management, residents. It's just so many people asking you different questions, patient advocates, where it feels like you're just being a little overwhelmed, and you're just trying to take care of your patients, do your charting, and take care of yourself as well, and do a job well done and go home. And some days it just seemed like it couldn't happen for me. When I went home, and I used to just like, I forgot to chart this or I forgot to chart that, and my mind felt like it was about to explode, because when I went to day shift, I was straight out of nursing school. I was a new grad on day shift, and it was not easy. I will say it was not easy, especially if like one of my patients deteriorated and I had to call a rapid and they had to be transferred to ICU, where they had to receive more higher care, and some of those rapids that I would call would last an hour. So that's an hour being taken away from me tending to the rest of my patients and doing work. And then I gotta, call a report about the patient, tell them what happened. And most of the time I went down with my patient when they were being transferred to the critical care unit. So those days most of the time were super busy as well. And then you have to document about what happened and why you called the rapid and everything that happened in that patient's condition. So that's the main con about working day shift to me, is that it's just super busy. So if you like to be busy, like to be super busy, day shift may be perfect for you. But a pro is that you learn a lot on day shift. So if you like to learn as well, day shift is like really good for you because you learn a ton. And then about to talk about the pros and cons that I experienced working night shift. So I've been working night shift for about 5 months now. I recently went to night shift because I was overwhelmed with day shift. I was exhausted with day shift, and I felt like I want to take better care of myself. So I was like, I need to take breaks, and I feel like night shift will offer me more availability to take breaks because there are less people here at the hospital. So I went to night shift. I transitioned. And the pros about working night shift is that, yes, it is a lot slower than day shift. I do not have people asking me many questions as there is on day shift. I have way less staff asking me things about patients, because physical therapy, occupational therapy, dietary, most physicians and most residents are typically not asking questions about patients at nighttime unless they're a new admit. Then you may get a few questions about patients, but it's not as many as day shift. Also, it's a lot more quieter. So if you just like to work in a peaceful environment where you can go assess your patients and interact with them, see what's going on and do your charting, night shift, you can just focus on one thing at a time, and you can go and assess your patient, do your charting, no problem, barely any interruptions. Also, working night shift, which I love, is that you can look up the patient's information without being rushed. So I can go through my patient's chart, see what's going on with my patient without so many interruptions, and learn more about my patient's medical condition that way by actually reading the chart and seeing everything that was done for my patient versus on day shift. Usually I didn't have time to sit and go through my patient's chart, especially if they've been there for a long time, to see what all was going on and why my patient is in the condition they're in now and what's their plan of care. So I learned about the plan of care more from the chart, and it's more that's usually added to the plan of care than I was told in shift report. So that is a good thing about night shift, is that I barely feel like I'm missing anything because usually it's a lot slower. So I really like that about working nights, is that I'm able to take my time, do everything, make sure things are accurate, and most of the time I have time to finish up my charting, no problem, and don't have to go home and think that I forgot to chart something that was pertinent. Cons about working night shift is that it's night shift. It's 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. and you have to, well, you don't have to, but I flip my body to be on day shift when I have days off, so I can go to my doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, hang out with my friends, things of that nature. So it's a body adjustment, and it's an adjustment to your body where your body is kind of like up and down, where that's not really kind of healthy either. It's just like keep flipping back and forth, but that's what I prefer to do, and I'm able to do it. When I first went to nights, it took me about probably a month to get adjusted to flipping, because when I first went to night shift, I was on nights on my day off, and I hated it. I hated, like, I was like, why am I up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Nothing is open. I can't get anything accomplished. I just want to go to sleep and wake up in the daytime so I could get things accomplished throughout the day. But after that month, my body got adjusted to being able to flip and do that cycle. Another thing about working night shift, which is a con, is that it's harder to get in touch with your physicians when you need them. Even though you usually have your on-call physicians, sometimes, as you know, some physicians only cover for themselves and they need that time to sleep. So sometimes it's hard to get them done on night shift because the physician is sleeping and not returning your page. So that results in sometimes having to call a rapid response for simple things that could have been handled during the page, but you have options to get the job done. So I really don't complain about that one. I just take it all in, and I just work with what I have, the resources that I have. And also you have limited resources. So when a patient asks a question, some people don't know. So sometimes I have coworkers that turn to me because they know I was a day shifter. So they know, like, I know most of the answers to like patient's plan of care, patient discharge, and how things work, because I did work day shift and I do know how those things work. So I feel like working day shift help give me that knowledge where I can answer my patient's questions. So having that extra experience always come in handy. So which one do I prefer? Day shift versus night shift? Currently, in the position I'm in, I prefer to work a night shift. I feel like I still can learn on night shift. Like I said, I'm able to reference the patient's chart. I can look things up. And we have resources where if you don't know what it is, you still can find out what it is and find out what you need. Even though you're not learning from a hands-on approach, you're more self-educating yourself, but you're still learning. So I just feel more comfortable with that. I feel like a better nurse working night shift, that I'm more attentive to my patients and that I'm getting things done instead of feeling very, very rushed. So that is my day shift versus night shift experience as a telemetry nurse. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you like my hair, you guys, I did it myself. It cost me under $12. So if you want to learn how to get a hairstyle like this, a cute little box braid bob, then leave that in the comment box and I will do a tutorial on my hairstyle. So until next time, I will talk to you guys later.